2026. 20,924 days of destroying the silly evolution religion. Joseph, you said somebody else now was doing a whack-a-hoven and putting the number of days up there.
Yes, sir.
I think it was President Reagan that whoever he was running against back then, they did a real nasty commercial about him, what an evil man he was and all that kind of stuff. And he called the other opponent. He was and just said, "Thank you," and hung up. And he realized, I just gave him a bunch of advertising. All you atheists are doing is giving me advertising. Thank you. Okay. A lot of atheist channels say things about me. People say, "Wow, who's this Hovind guy? Let's look him up." Yeah. DrDino.com. Look me up. Okay. I'm good. Okay. Let's see. We're on a bunch of channels: Facebook, Rumble, X, our own app, Ken Hovind TV, Instagram, TikTok. Join us. Sign up for all of them. Okay. We're straight north of Pensacola, 70 miles in Lenox, Alabama. You can get off I-65. There's Lenox right there. Now, we have a Repton mailing address. And I'm sorry about that. That's all we got. We don't have a post office anymore in Lenox. So if it says Repton, don't get confused. We're 9 miles away. That's where the mail comes. Okay? So I just keep saying Lenox. Someday Lenox is going to be world famous. Yeah. Well, at least we'll know where it is, okay? Hey, crew, we found Moses. He's been missing for quite a while, but he's fine now. So now quit playing, Moses, and get to work. We have boot camp in 4 weeks. We've got lots to do. Get down here and get to work. Here's May 26th. Boot camp coming up July 1st through the 5th. Come on down. If you want to help us stay open for free, we do that all the time. 10 years now. I don't charge anything. Believe me, it costs a lot to run the place. But you can help us join our 777 club. Say, Brother Hovind, I like what you're doing. You teach me things that I can use for my life in the Lord. I'll help support you. $1 a day or whatever you can give. Okay? 10 years. Okay, I want to show you a quick video here and ask you atheists, how did this evolve? I've done many series of videos making babies. How did this creature evolve the ability to make a baby in this way? We covered, let's see, the platypus, the jellyfish, the tortoise beetle, the echidna, the ducks, the hens. Hundreds and hundreds of targets to shoot at. You guys didn't do any of them. Please tell me how it evolved. That's amazing. Like the male seahorse. She gets pregnant, puts the eggs in his stomach, and he raises them and hatches them. How did that evolve? See, for millions of years, she tried to put him in. He didn't want them, so they all died for millions of years. None of them survived. RJ, your wife's going to have a baby here any day. Do you want to have the baby, or would you rather have her have it? You're good with her having it? Okay. They talk about all that pain and shit. I had 3 kids. I didn't feel none of that stuff. Anyway, let's watch this guy.
Every night before going to sleep, the tropical parrotfish blows a massive bubble completely out of its own snort to use as a protective sleeping bag. This thick mucus blanket completely traps its scent, making it entirely invisible to nocturnal predators like.
It makes a mucus sac, climbs inside, that prevents its smell from attracting nighttime predators. Question, how did that evolve? Don't just tell me, well, it must have evolved because they've got it. No. I want some science. All you guys who are evolution believers have is, you ready, Joseph? This is all you have. Ready?
Imagination.
Just imagine, over millions of years, one parrotfish learned how to do it, and he had to teach all the rest of them in the whole ocean. That took a long time. Yeah. Or else all the rest of them died because they didn't have it. And his kids took over the world, yeah. How can you not see how dumb that is? It's just plain dumb. Anyway, thank you for joining us. I want to show you, let's see, right here, slide number. Oh, where'd it go? I got too many things open here, Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need that new computer. Is it coming here soon?
Should be here
Today? Yeah, okay, here we go. Where is Peacocks on here? Is that on here? Peacocks. I wrote the number down somewhere. One moment, folks. This is the joys of live TV. That's slide number 3922. That's it. Okay. There. 3922. There. No. Where happened to peacocks here? I got it in here somewhere. You can look at any animal in the, here it is, 3962. Okay. 3962. There. There are 225 varieties of peafowl in 3 species. By the way, these animals do not know we're classifying them, nor do they care. They don't care. They don't even. This is purely a human restriction put on the creatures. All these peacocks, peafowl, peacock is the male, okay? You guys claim they all came from a common ancestor. I would agree it was a peacock, peafowl. That does not prove they're related to bananas and frogs and whales and dinosaurs. The green peacock. Do you honestly believe this happened by chance? Who taught you that, first of all? Zoom in on a peacock feather. It is stunning. The geometry in there. Fibonacci sequence all over the different creatures around the world. You really think nobody made that? Each of those little filaments coming up has little hooks on the side. They hook together. You can unzip them and zip them together. Birds, you see them preening. They'll bend their head over and run their feathers through their beak. They're rezipping all the feathers. That makes it hold air. Those little zipper things on there make it lock together. How did that evolve? They got thousands of them, you know, on each feather. See, they lock together, and the feathers, when the bird flaps down, all the feathers fold shut like a Venetian blind, traps the air, they get uplift. Then when they lift their wings up, well, that would knock them back down. So all the feathers turn, and the air goes through the wing. So each feather is turning for the downstroke, turning for the upstroke, turning for the downstroke. How did that evolve? Have you noticed flight feathers are off-center? The shaft is not in the center. One side's wider than the other. If it's not a flight feather, like our emus don't have flight feathers, they don't fly. So their feathers are symmetrical. I wonder how that evolved. Here's the atheist logic. This building is a marvel of architectural design. This painting shows a mastery of technique. This engine is a real piece of sophisticated engineering. Clearly, no one made any of this. You can look at any animal, any plant, and say, how did this evolve? Anglerfish mating is horrific. How did that evolve? How did they get that little thing on top so that lights up to attract fish so they can get them? That's their lure. How did that evolve? How long did it take? I'm telling you, atheists don't have any answers to any of these except imagination. All they'll say is, over millions of years, that's where you drop right into imagination. How do you not get it? Meanwhile, I like making fun of you, but I'm really trying to win you to the Lord, okay? Only females have a fishing rod. This ranges from short to long, and the bait almost always luminous, lights up, from simple to ornate. In some species, there are also other luminous organs, according to Britannica. So God made the world. Did a wonderful job, God. Thank you. He owns it. He makes the rules. We're guilty of breaking his rules, and we're going to be punished. Or you got to find a substitute. And thankfully, Jesus Christ is willing and able to substitute. He took my place. Otherwise, I'd be going to hell with you. I don't want to do that. Okay, questions or comments, Joseph? Meanwhile, all you guys, tell me how that evolved. Give me a step-by-step. It started off with just a nub, got a little bit longer over millions of generations, and slowly it learned to light up and attract the bait right in front of the mouth. See, for millions of years, the thing grew the wrong way, and it was over here, and they couldn't eat the fish. For millions of years, some of them grew backwards, and the fish ate them. Whoa. They all died, all of them. You're going to respond to Forrest Valkai. What did he say?
I haven't heard anything. It must be good.
I debated him once. I'll debate him again anytime. I don't have time to watch all the videos people make about me. I barely got time to sleep and eat and breathe. So give me a specific. Send me one point at a time. What did he say that I need to respond to? Send it in, please. Frank, you got it right there in front of you, I guess. Jay, is there a chance that God used evolution process to create man? Absolutely not. That would be a retarded God who doesn't know what he wants. Let's just throw it out there and let us see what happens. He did it right first time. First time, flawless. Now, man messed it up, but God made it perfect. No, that's not the God I would want to worship, who would use evolution. And there's no evidence for it anyway. Why would we want to compromise a perfectly good Bible, which has never been proven wrong, with a dumb theory that's never been proven right? Why would anybody with one brain cell want to do such a thing? So, no, there's no evidence whatsoever of any animal ever changing to a different kind of animal. You can imagine it if you want, but that's not science. Admit it. It's not science. Get it out of the schools. Start your own private school. All those who wish to learn evolution, come pay money and come here. That'd be great. That's the way it ought to be. This is America, the land of the free and the home of the slave, or something like that. Okay? And so, yeah. Okay, what else we got? Ken, have you ever eaten shark or crocodile? Not that I know of. I would. I mean, I'm not against it. I like chicken. That's more readily available. It's easier to catch a chicken and clean it than it is a crocodile, too. Fibonacci sequence. Proof God uses evolution to proclaim his design. Oh, really? Who on earth taught you that? It's proof God designed things. Fibonacci sequence. Let's see, I got Fibonacci in here. For those that may not know what it is, I think it's in this one. If not, you can Google it. I don't see it here. Fibonacci was an Italian mathematician and scientist years ago. He discovered a sequence of numbers that is now found in all over the world. The swirl of a pine cone, the swirl of a seahorse tail. It's found in the distance to the planets. It's found in the spiral shape of galaxies. Fibonacci sequence. Just Google it. F-I-B-O, Fibo, and you look it up, okay? Check, spell check. Fibonacci. That's why the Italians lost the war. A big long name nobody could pronounce. Curious your thoughts on Area 51. Area 51, Roswell, New Mexico. It may just be top secret government experimental stuff. I don't have time to get involved in all that UFO stuff. So somebody else solve that one. Let's see, I got UFOs in here somewhere. Joseph, when I get that new computer, this one's causing trouble. I'm going to finally organize seminar part 7.
Amen.
Just that one has 5,000 slides now. I'll have to break it up, aren't I, into a 7 and 8.
Yeah, to break it up in smaller chunks.
I need to, I'm sorry. Okay. So I don't know about Area 51. Why does a marine iguana sneeze salt so they don't die? Well, I think the whole world during the time of Noah's flood was fresh water. Oceans are gaining salt every day. You can Google, are the oceans getting saltier? Mineral salts wash off the ground into the rivers, into the oceans, and evaporation takes out just the water. So the oceans are gaining salt, up to 3.6% salt. It varies depending on where you are and sunlight and all that. Who cares? Okay, about 3.6% average. So during Noah's flood, let me get my chart here. During Noah's flood, the whole world was fresh water, and the oceans are gradually getting saltier. And today they're 3.6% salt. If they were millions of years old, they would be much saltier, like Dead Sea or Salton Sea, or Great Salt Lake, 35% salt. Nothing could live there. So that's evidence that the Earth is not millions of years old. At least the oceans aren't. So the oceans are getting saltier. So some animals have had to adapt to it. Most animals that live in salt water don't like it. I mean, they have to live there now, but they have to get rid of it somehow. Like you mentioned, sneezing salt out. Sometimes they get out through crystals in their eye, just like we have to rub our eyes once in a while to get, sand out of our eyes or whatever, or pick your nose to get the boogers out. So to get rid of something that's a nuisance is not evidence for evolution. It's evidence that God gave the creatures the amazing ability to adapt to certain environments. If you watch my video number 1, I go through. Am I talking too fast? I get excited with this, brother. Okay. Video number 1, I talk about the salt in the ocean, and I mentioned a guy up here in Alabama who raises some kind of fish. I forget now. It's been 20 years since I talked about that. He has aquariums. He raises, I think it's guppies or something, whatever it is. He said, I wonder if I can get them used to salt water. So he took one aquarium full of guppies, let's say it was guppies, and he gradually added salt. He calculated how much to add each day so that after 2 weeks, it would be equal to the ocean, 3.5%. Over 2 weeks, they all adapted to it. Then when he put them back in fresh water, they died. I tell the story in video number 1. Get my series. $50 for the whole thing. So some animals get salt by sneezing it out. Some put it in their urine and pee it out. But it's generally a nuisance. Today there are saltwater crocodiles and freshwater crocodiles, and they probably had a common ancestor called a crocodile. That does not prove what you guys imagine, that the crocodile is related to, where's it at? Crocodile is related to the butterfly. Look at that. Joseph, they got lines on paper connecting them. That's proof the crocodile and the butterfly had a common ancestor. That is that's stupid. Why did a perfect God have to murder so many people? I think a couple assumptions built into your question. Okay. First of all, God should be capitalized in my world. He didn't murder them. They deserved what they got. They were wicked. They broke the rules. When the government executes a mass murderer or a rapist, is that murder or is that justified homicide? There's a difference. You need to look up the definition of murder, justified homicide. The sheriff in Arkansas, you know, he found this pedophile with his daughter. He stopped the car and shot the guy and killed him. He just got elected sheriff. He's in the running for sheriff now. Alan Spencer. Well, he won the primary. Yeah. I forget what city in Arkansas, but yay. Somebody runs off with your daughter, gonna rape her, shoot the guy right between the eyes 5 or 6 times. Make sure. It's a Hovind theory. Yeah, Lone Oak, Arkansas. Alan Spencer or something like that. Aaron Spencer, yeah. Can you unknowingly worship the devil doing yoga? The devil's pretty slick. He can sneak in all kinds of different ways. I'd be cautious. When in doubt, don't. That's my philosophy. How come the name Jesus came up and the letter J was created in 1524? You know, the Hebrew alphabet doesn't have a B or a C or a D or an E or an F either. What's that proof? They see Hebrews don't have a letter J. Okay, they don't have any of our letters. Look at the Hebrew alphabet. Tell me which of our letters they've got. Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Deleth. So I think that's a lousy argument for anything.
Why did they only do it with Jesus? Why don't they do it with John or Jonah or anybody else? It's only Jesus.
There's a bunch of people with J in the Bible.
They only do this with Jesus.
Hey, Google that. How many Bible characters start with the letter J? Jonah, James, Jesus, Joshua. Yeah, why do they pick on Jesus? They're translating from one language to another. They're picking a letter that creates the sound that they want to match as best they can the other one. According to Christian Resources, there are 613 Christian and biblical names starting with J, even cities like Jericho. Huh. A larger variety of girl names. Jacob, Joel, Jael. You know who Jael was in the Bible? He was a wicked guy, and he was one of the judges, I think. And when he was sleeping, his wife gave him milk or something, made him go to sleep, and she took a big nail and nailed through his temples, nailed his head to the ground. Jael got nailed. That's how you remember it, okay? Okay, you remember, never forget that one. What a way to die. Wake up, she's standing over you with a huge tent spike, and bam, the last thing went through his mind was that nail. Can you do a video explaining the hell? Heard there's like different layers of hell. I don't think I could do a video. Ukraine. Привет, как дела? Меня зовут Ken. Как вас зовут? Vitaly, I bet. Let's see. The Bible says it shall be more tolerable. That phrase appears quite a few times in the Bible. Jesus said, if you do this, it's more tolerable for Sodom, etc. Let me Google that here. This Bible program, I love it. Let's see. More tolerable. Let's see. That phrase appears in Matthew 10:15. It shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment. Matthew 11:22. It shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon. Matthew 11:24. It shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom. Let's see. It's found 6 different times, 6 different verses. So to me, that indicates there are levels of punishment, like there should be. Any just judge is going to give different levels of punishment depending what you did. A good father would say, son, what you did is wrong. You're going to get 3 swats. If it's really, really, really wrong, you might get 10 swats or whatever. Whatever's appropriate. The dad has to know. You have to know the kid first, and he knows, and he's doing it out of love. So, because of that phrase, more tolerable, found 6 times, it looks to me like there must be different levels, layers, or chambers, or something. I've never been to hell. Don't want to see it. You mentioned there are still some dinosaurs in the world. Maybe not T-Rex, something else. Well, the apatosaur is the one that they continually report seeing in the Congo swamp in Africa, the Likawala swamp. Get the book A Living Dinosaur by Roy Mackal. He died. He was a University of Chicago professor of biology. He went to the swamp. And when you showed one of these to the natives, they'd say, oh, that's Mokele Mbembe. He's out in the swamp, very rarely seen, even to the natives who live there, lives underwater, comes out at night, eats malombo plants. They showed him the plant to eat, the whole thing. Let's see. It's all in the book here. So that swamp is bigger than the whole state of Alabama, and it's 80% unexplored. And the government has banned people going in there, not because they're hiding something, because people are too stupid to bring enough lunch and water to feed themselves, and they call for help. What's it cost them to go rescue you in that swamp? Fly in a helicopter. The cost of rescue is probably a bunch of money. That's why. Same thing with Antarctica. If you could get a permit to go to Antarctica and see the South Pole. It's not that it doesn't exist, and it's a pole, not a ring. Okay, so the Congo swamp is one place. Loch Ness Monster is another one. 11,000 people claim they've seen Loch Ness Monster. Lake Champlain, which is a huge lake between New York and Vermont. For my video number 3, I interviewed Sandy Mancy, who took the best photograph of Champ. Just Google Champ, Beyond the Legends. We sell that book, don't we? Or we did? From Lake Champlain Monster? Yeah. Well, come see we got all that stuff here at our museum. 11,000 people claim they've seen Loch Ness Monster, and they claim it's a plesiosaurus. Okay, why would 11,000 people tell that story? Now, I'm not saying the world's full of dinosaurs and you got to be careful when you go to Walmart. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are probably many still alive in various parts of the world. Why would that be so bad? I mean, they're not as big as they used to be. The Bible says people used to live to be 900. Read, where'd it go here? Read Genesis chapter 5. The people before the flood lived to be 900. Genesis chapter 11, after the flood, it dropped off to 400, 200, 100. This is the age of the big dinosaurs, because reptiles never stopped growing. And after the flood, only smaller ones could survive. Maybe certain species couldn't even live long enough to reach maturity. I think the brachiosaur, let's see. I've got one here somewhere. Here we go. Okay. I'm not aware of any sightings of these kind, the brachiosaur, in hundreds of years. The apatosaur has back legs that are longer. Brachiosaur has front legs that are longer. He's jacked up in the front, he's jacked up in the back. This one gets better gas mileage, this one has more horsepower. I'm just guessing. I don't know why. But I think there are lots of, it's mostly in the water. That'd be the simplest place to hide.
Can you hold that book up again?
Which one? The living dinosaur?
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Okay.
And then last question, Dr. Jeff, an appointment at 9:30 in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Doctor, is it possible T-Rex is a dragon without wings? I don't know how to answer that. We know that in the Garden of Eden, in Genesis chapter 3, God told the serpent, you got to crawl on your belly. Well, it's not a curse to crawl on your belly if you're already crawling on your belly. So either he had wings or legs or arms or maybe all three. I don't see any way to tell, but he lost them crawling on his belly. And all through history, there are hundreds of legends of people killing winged dragons. It may be that some of the dinosaurs had wings. It doesn't mean they turned to birds. A lot of animals, like bats, have wings with no feathers. Okay, it's possible to have wings and not be a bird, right? So a lot of insects have wings, I believe, don't they? Yeah. Okay. So there must have been some kind of winged dinosaur at some time. Maybe even could breathe fire. Watch video number in the green series of tapes called Leviathan, the fire-breathing dragon. Read Job chapter 41. Did you see that short I sent you about bombardier beetle? They got some close-up pictures of the bombardier beetle and how it works. Yeah. Bombardier beetle. Google that. Sprays 2 chemicals together and burns his enemies. They call it the blister bug. That's it?
Yes, sir. We're going to get ready.
Okay, another show at 9:30. Monday, I will not be here to do my show. Got to go to the dentist. No, never mind. They changed it to 3:30 for me. I will be here. 9 o'clock Monday, 7 o'clock tonight. Call in with your questions. Atheists, we've been waiting and hoping you would call in. If you believe you came from a rock and you're related to a banana, we'd like to help. We will. I took some psychology classes in college. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not professional, but I think I could help you with that imagination you've got going around in your mind. Like, whoa, just imagine.